What if I told you that the skills that you're learning today might be useless in 10 years? It's a terrifying thought, right? But here's the good news, because there are timeless skills that will remain relevant no matter how far in the future we go and no matter how fast the world changes. So let me show you what they are and how to master them. So a while back, I came across Devon Erickson. His content honestly struck a chord with me because he was talking about things that I feel like I couldn't articulate very well myself. He asked a question that really stuck with me. Are we learning for today or preparing for tomorrow? And that question really made me rethink everything, not just about what I do, but how I approach learning. I realized something. Most of us are chasing skills for the moment, for today, right? We're picking what's trending, what seems safe, what's the sexiest job in 2024, that kind of thing. The truth here is safe isn't sustainable. The world is changing way too fast today with AI and crypto and blockchain and tech. Everything is moving so fast. And honestly, we need to learn the skills that will keep us relevant a decade from now, which are basically skills that transcend industries, frameworks, or trends, or tools, or technologies. It has to be something more fundamental. I think that our education system is completely broken because I think it teaches task, not adaptability. It's designed to produce workers of today or yesterday, but it's never designed for thinkers of tomorrow. Centuries ago, Roman citizens were taught how to learn. They were trained to think critically, to solve problems, and to adapt to any situation. And on the other hand, slaves were taught task, specific repetitive skills that serve their master's needs. Does that sound familiar? The reality here is most of us are being trained like slaves, prepared for a job that might not even exist in a few years. And if you spend 5 years honing on a very specific step-by-step skill, and for some reason that job for this skill that demand for this skill doesn't exist anymore, guess what? You're screwed, right? So if you want to break free from that cycle, you need to focus on timeless, fundamental, foundational skills. So based on the content that I was looking at, Devon actually outlined what he called the 7 liberal arts of the modern world. And these are not just skills. They are frameworks for navigating any challenge. And let me just quickly break them down for you. Number 1, it's going to be logic. How do you derive truth from facts? Logic is the foundation of critical thinking. It's about understanding how to make decisions based on facts and not emotions, right? So for example, when you're facing a conflicting advice, logic helps you strip away biases and focus on what's actually true from a first principles level. So number 2 would be statistics, how to understand data. In a world drowning in data and information, the ability to interpret numbers is a superpower. It's not just about calculating averages or finding the mean of things. It's about understanding what's the right questions to ask. It's about understanding what data means and how it impacts decisions. And think about this. Can you tell if when a graph that you look at is misleading, right? If you cannot read the graph yourself, you are basically at the mercy of someone else's narratives because they can spin up whatever story they want you to believe in. Number 3 is rhetoric, right? How do you persuade and communicate effectively? Communication isn't just about speaking, it's about influence. It's about teaching you how to structure arguments, present ideas, and inspiring action in someone else. Imagine pitching an idea to investors or convincing a team to back your vision. Rhetoric is the skill that makes it happen. The next thing, number 4, will be research. How to find answers in the unknown. When you don't know something, where do you start? If you rely fully on the textbooks that you have from universities, you are screwed because everything is moving so quick today. There's no way the university is able to catch up, right? If you rely on paying for one mentor to help you, you're screwed as well because this mentor forever at the mercy of this mentor. You got to learn how to learn yourself. Researching isn't just about Googling. It's a systematic approach to uncovering the truth. It's the skill to transform curiosity into knowledge and knowledge into action. And number 5, it's to understand practical psychology, which is how do you understand people's motives, right? Most of life's challenges involve people. Trust me, tech is the easy part. People is the hard part, right? So practical psychology helps you read between the lines, understand the unspoken intentions that people have, and help you build trust between people. It's about knowing why people act the way they do and using that understanding to navigate relationships and conflicts. Number 6, investment, right? How do you manage and grow your resources? Investment isn't just money. It's about understanding value, whether it's time, whether it's energy or capital or labor or technology. Knowing how to allocate resources effectively is a skill that pays dividends for life because we live, like it or not, we live in a world that is scarce. Nothing is infinite, and that's what makes life fun. Because if everything is infinite, there's no need to optimize. But the fact here is everything is finite, and you got to learn how to invest your resources effectively to achieve your goals with the minimal input possible. And number 7, it's agency, which is how do you take initiative and act, right? Agency is the most important of all because it's the glue that holds everything I mentioned together. It's the belief that you can make a change and you can take the risk. You're willing to take the risk to make it happen, right? Without agency, all the knowledge in the world means nothing because you will never be able to act on it. So that's what Devon said, right? So add on to that, I think that to future-proof yourself, you basically need to go beyond memorizing frameworks. You need to think from first principles. First principles thinking is basically breaking down problems down to their core truths. For example, instead of asking, what's the best career path? Ask what skills will allow me to adapt to any career, right? This mindset really forces you to think deeply and strategically for yourself rather than just thinking, okay, oh yeah, my dad said that you should go into data science because it's the sexiest job of the 20th century, something like that. Instead of doing that, think for yourself. Elon Musk, for example, he didn't revolutionize space travel by copying NASA. He started it from scratch, right? He questioned every assumption about rockets, and you can apply the same principle to your life. Everything you do, challenge the norms, understand why you're doing what you're doing, rethink your goals, and design your own path. So here's how I started using these concepts. I'm focusing on learning to learn. Instead of just mastering one tool, I'm building a process of picking up new skills quickly. For me, I've also reevaluated my goals, right? Instead of chasing what's hot today, I'm thinking, what will still matter 10 years from now? Then I'm going to build my path and my direction from starting from there. And the next thing is I'm practicing agency, which is scary, right? Because agency means I got to take action no matter what it takes, even if I'm scared. So I'm learning to now take action even when I don't feel ready. For example, doing these videos, I'm not ready at all, right? But inaction, in my opinion, is the biggest risk of all. No matter how unprepared I feel, I just got to show up. That's my rule number one for me today. So here's how you can start, right? You can start with a simple exercise, which is to pick one of the 7 modern arts. Just pick one. Commit to just one of the 7 modern arts I mentioned just now. Dedicate the next month to mastering the basics. Read a book, take an online course, watch a podcast, read documentations, and apply it to your daily life. The application part is the most important because someone can just read and watch YouTube videos all day long, right? Watching 1,000 hours of YouTube videos on learning how to swim will not trump the experience of you just jumping into a pool and learning how to swim on the job, right? So the next thing will be to learn how to track your progress, write down what you've learned and how it's changed your perspective. Remember to always start small. Don't stress yourself out by trying to learn all the 7 modern arts in a go. Do it one by one. It's okay. If you're in your 20s, you're what I call a time billionaire. You have time. Take the time to learn. Just don't waste it anymore, right? Start small, but start now. Remember, these are not just skills. They are investments that you're making in yourself and in your life. The next decade will bring changes that honestly we can't even imagine. Things are moving so fast, but with the right skills, you will not only survive, you will thrive. It starts with learning for the future, not learning for today. Focus on timeless skills and active agency. Just do it, right? And embrace the process of constant growth. If this resonated well with you, share your takeaway with me and let me know what you think in the comments. See you soon.